Hello and welcome to Loving Me, Myself, and Life with me, Jody Misiak. Today, I want to talk about boundaries. So, I have set many boundaries in my life, and I'm talking about healthy boundaries here because there's healthy and there's not so healthy. Anyways, I first came about the idea of setting boundaries when it was in my training of becoming an empowerment coach. I didn't really understand it before, and now it's really been a big eye opener to me. And here's the fun thing about life, right? I did this years ago in my training. I've set boundaries, and every time you learn something new. So, one of the things is it's been like with working with other people and stuff too, my own life and with clients that I've really, been eye-opening to different things and how people see setting boundaries. And people see, the setting the healthy boundaries as it could be, they're too rigid with somebody in their life. And a big aha moment I had with somebody is like, boundaries aren't rules. We're not telling these people these things to create rules. It's not a rule thing. It's about boundaries. And here's the other thing. People don't have to understand them. They're your boundaries. They just need to respect them. So an example would be, say you have a parent that, stops by without calling first. And it's something that bothers you. You want to have a heads up. It's having that conversation. Now, you don't wait until it blows up and you're all angry. The reason they're healthy, right, is like you want to come from a place of love when you're setting them. You don't do it when you're angry, or you try not to. And that can be challenging on its own. Trust me, I know. It's coming from a place of love and make it about you. It's not about their actions. Be like, I would really love for you to call me ahead of time just to, make sure I'm dressed or that, I'm ready for a visit, to make sure I'm not busy kind of thing, right? And then the next step, so start with that if that feels comfortable. But if they keep going and going and they don't stop showing up without calling first, then have another conversation. Be like, look, I've asked you to do this. I've asked you to call ahead first, please. If you can't do that, and then it's like whatever it is, it's like, I'm going to have to take your key back, or I'm just not going to answer the door. Whatever it is that you comfortably feel like you can set a boundary. And then there are times in your life where people just don't listen. And this is my biggest aha moment I've had recently in my own life. People can change, but only if they're willing to change. So you might have people in your life that you try to set healthy boundaries with, and they just don't listen to you. They don't respect you. They don't respect your wishes. They don't respect your space. They don't respect, your needs. It's all about them. And that's okay. That's them, right? That's their business. There's no judgment here. But what do you do when they don't listen? You've set the boundary. You said, I would like this. They still didn't listen. Then you're like, I would like this, like a friendly reminder, loving reminder. And if you don't, X is going to happen. Whatever, again, you feel comfortable. It's not like, it doesn't have to be like crazy. It just let them know there's going to be, this boundary is happening. And if they don't respect it, this is going to happen. And if they don't respect you, I know people that have had to lovingly love people from afar. It's like, okay, if you don't respect my boundaries and you don't respect me, then I'm going to love you from afar. And you might not even have that conversation with that person because they might not be listening. You might just personally have to make that decision to love them from afar. Now, this isn't holding a grudge, like, you don't respect me, you don't love me. they probably love you. They just have their own things to work on, and they may or may not ever work on them. It's, I love you, but I don't love your actions here. And I need to love you from afar. If people aren't respecting your boundaries, your wishes, they're not respecting you. And you need to take a step back and love them from afar. And that can be so hard. And if you're feeling angry at this situation, and then it's your own stuff to work on, but you can't change people. And that took me a long time to realize too. We can't change people. The only people we can change is ourselves. And as a person that I have changed so much in the last 10 years, I don't even know, sometimes my family doesn't recognize me. They still think I'm the same old Jody that I was 10 years ago, or 10 plus years ago, really. I'm not. I am yes, I fall into unhealthy habits from time to time because, we've done things for so long that we can kind of fall back into. But I have these tools now and I am more aware, right? It's about really aware of how you show up. We might not always show up like we'd like to, but the more we do it, the more we show up as us and we know who we are. When we fall into old habits, we can kind of pick ourselves back up. And I have changed, so I always expect other people to change, in all honesty. But not everybody does. Not everybody is as self-aware, and that's okay. That's who they are. And it's allowing people to be who they are from afar or with healthy boundaries in place. And it's having those hard conversations with people in our lives. It is so challenging. Like I've said, I've worked with clients and I've also had it in my own personal experience. It is really, really hard to have these conversations. They're with people we love, people we want to respect. And maybe we do respect them sometimes, maybe we don't. But we want them in our lives. We want to love them. We want to feel their love. And it can be really challenging to have the tough conversations of healthy boundaries. But everyone benefits from these boundaries. Because when you're respected, then you can show more respect for others in your life, for the people in your life. When we are respected, we can show up. And the respect goes both ways. Again, though, I want to, we can't change people. We can only set our own boundaries, our own healthy boundaries. And what do we need to, you're like, what kind of boundaries do I need to set, maybe, is what you're thinking right now. Here's the thing. You got to listen from within. You know what you need. So maybe somebody's been in your life and you're like, whoa, I don't know. This relationship that's happening right now, something feels off. Maybe you're annoyed with this person. Now that's a whole different, that can be another thing. If they trigger you, that's a whole other conversation. People, I've worked with clients with triggers and things like that too. Something I personally have worked on as well. However, let's talk about boundaries. And say somebody's irritating you or they're, you don't like that they're showing up without calling. That's just an example I'm using. There's so many different ways that you can, places in your life that healthy boundaries can be set. It can even be with grandparents. If they, it's that fun line between parent and grandparent, right? And I know tons of people, because I have kids, that have also had to create boundaries, when grandparents think that they need to take on the role as the parent. And it's like, no, you can be the grandparent here. You don't have to be the parent. So it's just anything. It could be with your kids, grandparents, parents, just so many different things that can happen. Friends, so many things that can happen. Spouses, big one. So if you can't catch your breath, take a couple days, a week, whatever, how often you see these people, take a pause. You don't have to do anything at all. Meditate on it, journal, talk to somebody, a coach, a friend that you really trust that's supportive. anyone that you feel comfortable sharing with or is very supportive. I always talk to somebody that is going to support you, not, drag you down. And neutral ground is really good. Because, a friend that might be like, yeah, like just, take them out of your life, or, they might just be on your side as a cheerleader, but it's about being neutral and just listening to you. When you talk to somebody, when listening is really great, because then you can kind of talk it out to yourself, almost like to your soundboard, and have the support, but not have, more thoughts being input in your head, if that makes any sense. So listen from within. To give yourself that time to be like, what do I need? And what am I willing to say if they're not okay with my boundary? And again, remember, these aren't rules. This is you respecting yourself enough to have boundaries for yourself, for your life. This is your life. You are meant to live it. And again, boundaries aren't meant to hurt people either. I want to specify that. It's not like, well, you're doing this, so I'm going to do this instead. It's not about holding a grudge and this is why I say do things from love. If you don't know what to do, take a step back and listen from within. Listen to what you need. Not what you think you need, or like out of frustration, like, so you're not going to do this? Fine, I'm going to do this. That's coming from like a daughter energy. You're not in woman energy. You're not doing it from a place of love. So take a step back if you can't do it with, like, don't ever make a decision out of anger or hate or frustration. Take a step back for a moment. And again, just, listen from within. You know what you need. And then the important thing is letting the people in your life, your loved ones, know what you need. That's all really what boundaries are. First, you need to understand what you need. And then letting the people in your life that love you know what you need too. And then if they're not respecting that, it's taking the next step and be like, this is what I need. And if you can't respect that, I'm going to, XYZ, whatever it may be. Again, it doesn't always have to be all or nothing. And then sometimes it is loving them from afar. And then it's not forever. It's taking a break. Maybe it's a week, a month. If I don't even want to say a year, but maybe it is. But you can check in too. And the thing is, just because somebody hasn't changed before, it doesn't mean they won't either. But it's also understanding that people might never change either. So it's this fun balance, because we don't have control over other people. We only have control of how we show up, how we treat ourselves, how we love ourselves, and what kind of awesome, amazing energy we put out in the world. That is the only thing we have control over, is ourselves. Everyone else is in control of themselves. And that can be challenging and frustrating when you're like, I just want you to change. Go within, find your love, your well of love, go for a swim in it, and just send yourself some extra love. Because that is not our job in our world, is to change other people. Our job in this world is to show up the best we can every day. And that might look different every day. To respect ourselves enough to set healthy, loving boundaries. I hope this has helped. I'm sending you so much love. I hope you have an amazing, amazing, beautiful day. Bye for now.